Hello everyone, Brother Joe here, Joe Radosti. You know, for most of my life, I've been on a journey to try to discover the truth. When Jesus stood before Pilate, before he was crucified, while he was being interrogated by Pilate, he said, "For this reason I have come into the world to testify to the truth." And Pilate asked Jesus, "What is truth?" Well, if we read in John 1:17, it says, "For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth were realized through Jesus Christ." For the law was given through Moses. Let's start there. Who was the law given to? Well, the law encompassed more than the Ten Commandments. It was the Old Covenant law that was given to Israel, Abraham's descendants and God's chosen people. Now, the law included things like, if we read in Leviticus 19:19, it says you couldn't have a garment, you couldn't wear a garment that was made of more than one material. Your garments had to be made of only one material. If you read in Luke 2, Jesus' parents went up to Jerusalem and they offered sacrifices because Jesus was the firstborn male child. So the law included sacrifices that had to be made for every firstborn male child. Now, if we read in Matthew 5:17-18, Jesus said the law was until all things were fulfilled. In other words, the law existed until all things were fulfilled. In John 19:28, we read that Jesus, right before he gave up the Spirit, he said, knowing that all things had been accomplished, all things had been fulfilled, he asked for a drink and then he said, "It is finished." Well, Jesus knew that he had accomplished all that was written about him in the law, the prophets, and the Psalms. That's why he said, "It is finished." Later on, after he was resurrected, he appeared to his disciples, and you can read that in Luke 24, I believe it's verse 44. Jesus appeared to his disciples and he explained to them how he had fulfilled the law, how he had accomplished everything that was written about the Messiah. Jesus was the Messiah, and he was pointing out to his disciples how he fulfilled everything that was written about the Messiah in the law, the prophets, and the Psalms. And then later on, you can read about the New Testament church in Acts 15. There was this great debate. Well, what was that debate about? Well, there were men who were circumcised who were trying to get the Gentiles, new believers, to keep the law, the Old Covenant law. And so they had this debate. And you can read about that, as I said, in Acts 15. What was the decision that was made? The decision that was made by the Holy Spirit, and the New Testament church believed, as you'll read, Peter made that speech, the sermon there, and he said that we are saved by grace and not by keeping the Old Covenant law. So that's what the New Testament church believed as well. Now, let's move on. We have the distinction, as I said, the law was given through Moses, and grace and truth was realized through Jesus Christ. That was the distinction there in John 1:17. So what is grace and truth? Well, I've heard Dr. Steve McVeigh say that Jesus is grace personified. Well, I believe that Jesus is also truth personified. Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free," in John 8:32. And then in John 14:6, he said, "I am the way, the truth and the life. Jesus isn't a way. No, he is the way and he is the truth. He's not a truth. He's the truth and he's the life. He is the life giver and he is the truth. Well, if we remember now what Pilate said, what is truth, as he asked Jesus, here's what's important, folks. Jesus is the bread of life. He is the light of the world. He is the door. He is the good shepherd. He is the resurrection and the life, as he told Martha and Mary before he raised their brother Lazarus from the dead. He is, as I said, the way, the truth, and the life. And he is the true vine. You know, folks, the law never took away sin, and it can't take away sin. But Jesus, who is grace personified, he is truth personified. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He is the true Lamb who takes away the sin of the world. And he, my folks, he, my friends, he is the bullseye.